welcome back, everybody. We just came from one live and we transported to a second live. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Ada Kay, and I'm here to bring you the scoop on Sarah Boone. And we do that because she is full of hot air like a foghorn. So thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you. And just for fair warning, when I talk about Sarah Boone, you will hear this because she is a hot freaking mess. We do have, let me get it pulled up. Please tell me I didn't lose all my documents. Yay, I have them all. Um, is there a portal? There should have been a portal. I made one. There should have been a redirect. If you were not redirected, thank you for just finding it and hopping back over. We have a lot of people who are new to this channel today. I thank you for hopping in. Oh, yay. So did it work, y'all? Did the redirect work? Yay, made it through the wind tunnel. Mary Kay, thank you for joining. C. Morales, ADHD, mama of 3. Karate Cat Mom, thank you for joining me. Denny Dawn, thanks for joining. K Swan, Eva, thank you so much. I know a lot of y'all have been on with me all morning and I appreciate it. Hello, or should I say, hello, it's Brit. Images by Yvonne. Yes, thank you. Awesome. Everybody made it through. And if you didn't, go in the old way. We're here. We're here for it. So we're transitioning from Tellus to Boone. Oh, Sarah Boone makes me just want to anyway. Be a good girl. Be a good girl. I gotta be a good girl. Gotta be a good girl. It worked. Yay, pickle nits. I did nothing and there was no break in the stream for me. I only know because I could hear you talk about it. I've always wondered how that worked. Yes. Hit the like button. Please subscribe, guys. I am trying to grow. We had a big growth and then we plateaued. So, and that's fine. That's fine. And don't forget, we do have memberships. We recently were monetized. So we do now get super chats and all that wonderful stuff. Don't expect it, but appreciate it when it happens. I do this because I love to do it. Where did you leave off yesterday, Jedi Jess? On Sarah Boone? We finished all of it. I read 75 pages. We got through all of it. Yes, all of it. Wonder if it would be postponed until a lot of people in the law field are saying that he's made some very good arguments, and I tend to agree. Okay, I can explain the staples in her pants. It's real simple. And for those of you who didn't watch yesterday, let me give you a little rundown. Our truth fairy, whose name is not to be mentioned per their request, I had asked them, we have been getting these little snippets of what are called behavioral notes from jail, but they're only a couple of days worth. I had asked our fabulous truth fairy or document fairy if they could potentially get their hands on all of them. It took a little bit, took what, about a week, you think? And I don't know, maybe a week or so, and we got all of them. And yesterday, you can go back and watch that live. It's a long one. We read every single positive and negative note. And here's a rundown or a recap of Miss Boone's behavior, which to me helps explain some of the crap she's pulling in court. Number 1, she got in trouble the most for talking. See, in the bunk, in the shower, in the bathrooms, in certain areas, they don't like you to be talking a lot because, hi, Sneaky, that's just some of their rules. And Miss Sarah, I want to call her Boone Queen. She thinks she's the queen of the pod. She thinks she's the mod boss of the pod. I mean, not mod boss, pod boss of everybody, and she thinks that she rules the roost, and she thinks that her she didn't the rules don't apply to her, and this is some of the stuff that the guards are saying. And so, I'm not surprised by her talking at all, at all. Well, kudos to you, LOL. I had modding duties and then company came over, couldn't finish reading or watching your stream. That's okay. Y'all can go back and watch it, but I really thank you, Truth Fairy. I really, really do. The only question I have now is, Truth Fairy, if you're listening, can we get phone call recordings like Wade Wilson? Okay. I'm done with my request. I'm gonna let Miss Sneaky handle popping up comments because I need to focus on this stuff. If you don't mind, love, thank you. So what happened is, so she got in trouble for that. She got in trouble a lot just for mouthing back at the guards. The other thing she got in trouble for is that she was spreading out her stuff on other people's territories. Now, if you were in a uh, double person bunk and say she's on the bottom or the top, it doesn't matter, and that person leaves, she would then take her possessions and put them in their drawer or trunk, depending on which unit she was on, because she's moved units a couple of times. So she was utilizing space that she was not allowed to do. She had so many warnings. Did we keep a track of how many warnings she had in that department about how many times they warned her and told her to get her crap out of the other bunk space? But they eventually started putting padlocks on the drawers and the trunks, drawers or trunks or lockers, excuse me, drawers or lockers to keep her from putting stuff in it. And it got to the point that they were getting ready to do big punishment on her. She really thinks she's uber special, doesn't she? Yes, pickle nits, she really does. Then one of the other things she did was that she was altering her prison clothing. And she said she wore a small at 140 pounds. Okay, I would think that'd be closer to a medium, but she was in a small, and she said it was too revealing, it was too big, and she wanted an extra small. So the prison guard requested, and they do not carry extra small. And then she requested the prison guard go and look at all of the smalls and size them up and find if there's a smaller small. These are some of the demands that she's been making. So she didn't get the answer she wanted. So she went to court one day and they caught her with her clothing altered by staples. Took them in. She, what is she, about five? Was she 5'5", 140 pounds, something like that? She's not big. I don't remember.
She is 5'3" according to her arrest record.
5'3",
140
140
according
pounds.
to her arrest record.
Yeah, at that time. But she may be bigger or light, heavier or lighter at this point. We don't know. But here's my frustration. No, no, I won't go there. So anyway, then something else she was doing was that she kept telling them that she had food allergies, and they had constant issues with her food because one day she would take a food tray that had soy on it, and then another day she'd deny it and demand a sack lunch. And then they make her go to medical, and medical would just, say, okay, give her the allergy tray. Well, she didn't like what was on the allergy tray, so she wanted a sack lunch. Then she didn't want sack lunches. She had a food allergy, and it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. She definitely is not pickle nits. So they, everybody was doubting, and she said she's allergic to soy. Even the inmate guard was saying she's picking and choosing which soy she's allergic to depending on the day. And one day she said that she didn't receive 2 Snickers and a bag of chips, and she demanded that the next day or the week or whatever later that they would deal with that. Well, doesn't Snickers have soy in it? So anyway, people were really struggling, some of us were struggling to understand why all this weird behavior. And see, she had 55 negatives to 18 positives. And the thing is that the positives were that she would volunteer to clean and organize, and it was not on a regular basis, it was just sporadic. Then when they did their locker searches, the spontaneous searches, she always had contraband, and it was, um, paper clips, unauthorized paper products. She would have ketchup, mustard. She would have, one time she had gloves that were normal, and she had 40 gloves that the fingers tips were cut off of. She'd have, oh my gosh, what else was it? Empty chip bags. She had bottles. One time she had a shampoo bottle that had powder in it. She had, another bottle that was supposed to have had powder, had liquid hand sanitizer in it.
36 slices of cheese.
Well, I was getting there.
Oh,
She
sorry.
30 to 36 slices of cheese. I mean, it was just crazy shit, literally. And we're like, what the heck? And then it went ding, 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 ding. Okay, for those of you who don't know about prison, I'm about ready to educate you. Are you ready? When you have rubber gloves, no, a lot of the stuff she was getting was from cleaning, right? And so gloves she got when she cleaned the rubber gloves. When she cleans the whole unit, she also would clean the uh, workstation for the inmate, the guard station. She would clean off that desk and sneak the stapler. Hence how she had to stapler and altered her clothes. And then the biggest thing that she had a lot of all the time and was consistently found were paper clips. And so, basically what happens in prisons, and if those of you who know, or jails, you know, um, that there are ways of communicating and passing things, and one of the number one ways is through toilets. So if you are in a jail situation and you have people who are using illegal medications, I'm trying to not get in trouble here because we're not in the first, we're still early in this live. So what you do is cut off the fingers to rubber gloves, which is one of the most highest commodity in jail and prison because they can do many things with that. And one of the things is they would put the medications in it, tie a knot, dip it in ketchup or mustard or any kind of thing like that to lubricate it and swallow it whole. So if they are having a shakedown and they can get to it, they can quickly squeeze it on there and swallow it and not be found. The other thing they can do is pass it through the toilet system. So cell 1 and cell 4, you got 2, 3 between them, want to communicate. So cell 1 will tie paper clips and wrap it in paper, wet it, and let it dry and make a weight. Then they will tie the in like a rope or a sausage, the contraband inside the rubber gloves onto a string. They would put it in the toilet and flush. The opposite side would have paper clips with little hooks. They would fashion a hook and flush, and then they would hook it until they got it, and then they would fish it up between the two sides. Okay? Yeah. And then she had bottles. Well, why would you have a bottle? You cut the bottle tip off and you slide it into the toilet and put the hook on it. So your stuff can go through, right? You got the bottle, and the hook with the string is on that, and so it won't flush down. So when you need to pass something again, you pull that plastic bottle with the hook through it out, and you fish it back and forth. That is how they do things. How do they talk in prisons, especially if it's a tiered system? And jails, usually jails are more tiered than their cities, so they can have 10 floors. What you do is you get your pillow, you get a bag or something, and you strain out all the water of your toilet. You pump it to dry it out, and then somebody else does, and then they talk through the toilets. It is very disgusting, and then they get acne and stuff because they call it toilet mouth, because you put your face into the toilet like this and you're talking, and it just the bacteria eats them, so it is nasty. But everything that she had in contraband all of a sudden went, "Boom, I know what she's doing." So she was working and she got good points for it, but she was doing it with the purpose of collecting contraband. Yeah, isn't that lovely? Isn't that fabulous? Isn't that gross? And so, but the cheese, let's talk about cheese. Yes, exactly. Well, cheese is also a commodity. And when you get your sandwiches, you get sliced cheese in the bags. And cheese is something that people absolutely love. And do you know how they make prison food? They'll get together and they'll get chips, and somebody may have ketchup, or and then they make these prison recipes. Well, cheese is really hard to come by in prison now. It's the cheap, crappy governmental type, worse than Kraft sliced cheese. um but it's cheese, and then they can put it in the microwave if they have access to one and melt it. But she can also sell cheese, to a lot of people, and another thing they do is they can take cheese, wrap it around the, medication that's inside the rubber glove, wrap it around that and eat it in public, and people would have no idea what they were doing. So cheese can be used for that. But she always had a bunch of stuff. She had extra towels. Why would you want the extra towels? Because you make a mess when you are fishing through the toilets, and you want to clean up fishing through the toilets. So you get one towel, one pillowcase, one top sheet, one bottom sheet, one blanket. That's it. And she always had extra prison clothes of some kind. So, yeah, yeah, yep. I didn't mean to click on that. I'm trying to click off of it. Okay. So she had a lot of alternative motive. And the thing is that just told, and Sneaky and I talked about it. She has assimilated into jail life very well. And if she is going to survive prison jail, she's going to have to learn all these tricks. And she's going to have to find something to earn extra money. And that is what they call tricks, prison tricks. And that is very important. And I mean, there are different names, but that's how I know it. And so for her, this is what she does. And so each one of those glove fingers can be worth 2, 3, 5 ramen. I don't know, whatever she wants to sell them for. And that's really a no too. You're not supposed to do that. So I find it interesting that if she is allergic to soy, then she was throwing a fit over the 2 Snickers because she owed somebody a favor. And that's the other reason that she might be volunteering as well when she did, is because she owed somebody a favor. So, yeah, Tellus is gonna have a fun time adjusting. Yeah, yeah. So, those were very, very educational reading. If you want to watch the live, it is, I mean, if you wanna watch it, it's there to watch. Now, today, we have multiple things. First, I wanna talk about we're gonna bring to life the filing that Sarah Boone has done. doc PDF. We're going to read through that real quick. I'm going to try and embiggen it. Fit page. Oh, nope, not what I wanted to do. Fit width. There we go. Okay. I'm going to have to do some rearranging on my screen. Miss Sneaky, if you don't mind continuing to take over the comments while I read, I greatly appreciate it. There we go. I think that works. How does it look if I do this? Nope. This? Nope. This? Nope. Okay. Where was that? There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. Motion statement of particulars. Come now, the defendant, by and through the undersigned attorney, under Rule 3.140, parentheses in, of the Florida Rules of Criminal Procedures, and request this court to enter order requiring the state of Florida to furnish the defendant with a statement of particulars concerning the alleged offenses, including the following. Number one, the defendant, Sarah Boone, is charged by way of an information with a single count of second-degree murder, F1PBL-L10. The pertinent part of the information states charges that Sarah Boone, on or about the 23rd day of February of 2020, in the county and state, did in violation of Florida Statute 782.04, parentheses 2, by an account in imminently endangered to another and evincing a depraved mind regardless of human life, did kill George Torres. Under the Florida Standard Jury Instructions for Criminal Case 7.4 Murder Second Degree, Section 782.04, parentheses 2, Florida State, to prove the crime of second degree murder, the state must prove the following three elements beyond a reasonable doubt. One, victim is actually dead. Really? Didn't know that. Number two, death was caused by criminal act of defendant. Three, there was an unlawful killing of victim by an act imminently danger to another and demonstrating a depraved mind without regard for life. What does this infer when you have somebody in a suitcase begging for their life and you're sitting there doing this? Shh. Yeah. Definitions: an act including a series of related actions arise from and performed pursuant to a single design or purpose. An act is imminently danger to another and demonstrating a depraved mind. If it is an act or a series of acts that one, a person of orderly judgment would know is reasonably certain to kill or do serious bodily injury to another. Well, someone in a suitcase wouldn't do that, but leaving them overnight with no oxygen is. Two, is done from ill will, hatred, spite, and evil intent. Yep, she did that. Three, is of such nature that the act itself indicates an indifference to human life. Yep. In order to convict the second degree murder, it is not necessary for the state to prove defendant had an intent to cause death. Under Florida Rules of Criminal Procedure, the defendant has the right to know if charges against them were against them with specificity. Upon request, the state must provide specificity and clarification to the detail of the alleged offense in order to minimize surprise at trial and to ensure that the defendant's rights are protected. The rule required an information on which the defendant is to be tried shall be a plan, concise, and definite written statement of the essential facts consisting of the offense charged. The information fails, number 7, sorry. Information fails to inform the defendant of the particulars of the offense specifically to enable the defendant to prepare a defense. Wherefore, the defense would respectfully request the court to consider the request and grant the defense motion of statement of particulars. Submitted electronically by her attorney. Wow. What y'all think about that? Hey, Lindsay Bay. Hey, you guys. What y'all think about that? Okay. I hate to do this, but I have drank 2 cups of coffee, a half a glass of tea, and I need a ladies' break. Would you mind hopping in, Miss Sneaky, for a moment, though, please? And y'all kind of share about your comments on that. If you don't know what that is, I'll be back and I'll share it.
Hi there. How's it going, ladies and gents? I just wanted to share some of the comments that I've enjoyed from the last couple of minutes. Some of them are that she sounds institutionalized already. And yes, Sarah Boone does sound institutionalized already. She sounds like she is fully entrenched in the prison system, in prison life. She feels very comfortable bossing people around like she did in civilian life. So I think she's fitting in there just fine. She has the ability to get people angry at her that are more powerful than she is. So it also has the ability to humble her a little bit. So it's a lot of fun. We appreciate everybody joining us on this Labor Day Monday. I think I said it quickly in the other post or in the other stream, but I have been part of a union for over 15 years, and I am very thankful for the women and men of the labor movement who work to help make the workplace safer for the next generation of workers. So just, if you have a moment in your day, please stop to think about that. And for the advocacy that people had gone through in the past to make your workplace safer. Anyway, we can go back to it now.
We're done with that. But basically, I think what they're basically saying is that in all of the evidence that she has turned over to him, he cannot locate that document, and he's asking the court to ensure that they received it by giving it to them again. He's saying he didn't think that, he's saying they didn't get it. Is he number 9 or number 10?
9, I believe.
He's number 9. And so a lot of things can accidentally disappear or get misplaced. So I understand he wants that. No big deal. Now, would you please preface the information about Miss Susan Leanne Furpus?
Oh, yes. Now, Susan Furpus is the second Bunk 40 woman that
is Miss Pena the first?
No. That's a separate issue completely. Right. We already showed a mugshot of the first Bunk 40 beef that Sarah Boone had, but we do have a mugshot on the second Bunk 40, which is Sarah Furpus, Susan Furpus. They had recorded her name wrong, but we also have the arrest affidavit for Christina Pena, who is the woman who is holding items for Sarah Boone in her locker on multiple occasions. So Sarah Boone's material was found in this woman's locker multiple times. It had been noted on multiple occasions, and so we had been trying to pull her arrest record, and boy, did we pull her arrest record.
Ooh,
It
I got some
has some
stuff.
interesting stuff on there,
Excuse
and
me, y'all.
it's Sarah's
Yes.
gotten herself mixed up with some interesting people.
Well, let's first talk about Miss Susan Purpose. Now, this is one of the women that was accused of going, help, I can't get out. You killer. You know, basically, they were mocking her about ending the life of somebody in a suitcase.
Mhm.
And Sarah got her knickers in a knot about that. And so we wanted to know because Bunk 40, for whatever reason, whoever's in Bunk 40, Sarah has a beef with. Oh, I have it up too, darling.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah. Let me,
I will take mine down.
yeah. It's easier for me to scroll it. You can leave it up and just leave it. Okay. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do it this way. And let's see if I can get this to embiggen a little bit for y'all. There we go. This is the woman in Bunk 40 that is giving Sarah grief. She has an interesting record. I've actually pulled some stuff on her, I believe. So she's age 36. Arrest age was 36. Current age is 52.
Incarcerated for 16 years. We have multiple mugshots below. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go there. We're going there. But let me see something real quick. I found more stuff on Boone, by the way. A lot more stuff on Boone. Boom, boom.
Mm. She looks like somebody you would definitely want to mess with. Especially somebody who's had 16 years in prison. That's somebody you definitely want to mess with. Somebody that's, completely acclimated to the system.
Do you know
Like,
what? I
just
just had a brainy idea. I'm going to pull this woman's arrest record. So, why don't you go ahead and put yours back up? We'll pull mine down. I'll just remove it. And I'm going to pull this woman's arrest record while y'all look at all of her mugshots. It is funny.
okay. I will. All
But
right, ladies and gents, we're going to look at purpose throughout the ages. It's like a yearbook, but in some weird show. Okay, let's see.
she has 21 arrests. Now, a lot of them are civil traffic, but criminal felony number 1. Why can't I click on it? You're not opening. Oh, it's taking a minute. Yes, this woman is in for so much bad stuff. So, one of them is a possession of the kind. Misdemeanor, criminal felony. The one that she's probably in on now. Let me get it to pop up.
That's
Oh
a
my gosh,
shiner.
y'all.
But see, that's a woman you don't want to mess with either. That's someone you don't want to get in a bar fight with because she can take a punch.
Sarah Boom Boom is going to go bang, 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 bang. Okay. 920 or 21. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Possession of other paraphernalia. Okay, so she's in for that. And she's also in within a less than a month. I mean, these are criminal felonies. Another possession of another possession of paraphernalia, resisting arrest without violence, trespassing
Oh,
on other structures. She is very heavy. Stalking, misdemeanor, a criminal felony here. She's got 21 cases, and almost half of them are felonies. Entering place of selling oneself and lewdness in selling oneself. So she is basically a big time felon. Big
yes,
time felon.
camper for life.
And
This
she
is one
served
of the Bunk 40s that Sarah Boone was beefing with. Seems like Bunk 40 is the vertex of like dysfunction for Sarah Boone. Sorry, Ada, go ahead.
no, she is. She is. And guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Boom Boom has been in jail, has not been in jail, but has a history herself. So, and I want to look up Miss Pena real quick. Let me look up Miss Pena. Do you have the document, the warrant for arrest affidavit you want to pop up? Well, I
Mm-hmm.
try and allocate Miss Pena in the jail system. Sometimes we can get access to jail records, and sometimes you can't, but luckily someone sent me a way to get it for this particular court. Christina, May, Pena, the boy, I know a lot of Penas.
Right, guys.
That's a very
Give me 1
popular
second.
name.
Now,
So
we have the arrest warrant, the arrest affidavit for Christina Pena, and this is the woman who has been holding some of Sarah Boone's items in her locker multiple times that have been on record. And when the Truth Fairy went to pull some of her offenses, these offenses are offenses of which there are no bonds.
hello, Camper for Life.
Hi, Camper for Life. No bond that you can have set. Human trafficking.
Wait, watch your language.
Yes. And this
Moving
is
somebody against their will.
moving someone against their will for the
Intimate purposes with minors.
Mm-hmm. And the forcing of intimate purposes, an unlawful two-way communication device that would probably be encrypted for use in a
It could also
organized
mean,
crime
well,
ring.
it could also mean that somehow she had lifted a scanner that belonged to the police department, because that's one thing that they do.
True.
So they can listen to the traffic, is that they can lift these. Sometimes they'll put them. Yeah, it could be one of those. I have mine legally.
And some others that are, yes. So there are some very serious charges on this woman's record. So we were just
That's one.
Yeah, that's one. There are a number here, and this is just the one that we could get a hold of, dated March
Oh, I got more.
17th of 2020.
Okay, so most of her stuff is closed, or reclosed, but this is a joint, two different charges that they've merged into one. She's got 11 charges, majority criminal felony versus a few traffic. Um, once again, more selling of oneself, entering or remaining in a structure for the purpose of selling oneself. So she was selling herself in a place that was probably close to a school, government office, or something like that. She has a lot of that. I'm trying to see if that's all she has of that, but the biggest thing is that, yeah, it seems like it's all selling oneself, but the biggest thing is the last one, which is the unwanted movement for the purposes of forcing one to do things against their will, that were either that was a minor. That is a huge one. So, what I want to know, usually, these two women here, usually, these two women here, um, yeah, exactly. But this was not that. This was utilizing something that was not a public use, that was a two-way system, which is what I just showed you. So the thing about these two women is that they are the kind that would take advantage of Miss Boone, and how Miss Boone has coordinated with them in a way that she is taking advantage of their personal space. Do you realize how valuable that personal space is in a prison system or a jail system? You don't give up your personal space. That is sacrosanct. People have gotten their lives ended by doing what Sarah Boone is doing. So, what does she have on them, and how has she manipulated them into doing that? When they both have possession charges, guess what the cut up glove was for? Uh huh. I bet you she's now friends with Bunk 40 and this other girl. Interesting, don't you think?
Yes. I think with this woman's charges and how serious they are,
Mhm.
it could have totally been a police scanner.
Mhm.
However, one of people make fun of the RCMP, which is the Canadian Police Force. However, one of our like biggest RCMP police officers or communications experts was put in jail for I think around 20 years because he created something called Phantom Secure, which was a completely encrypted communications device that could not be detected by any spy or intelligence agency. And so gangs around the world were using it. And when the Five Eyes found out, which is um, the countries that trade intelligence secrets, which I believe is the US, Canada, Britain, Australia, and New Zealand. When that conglomerate of spies found out that that was happening, all hell broke loose. And that guy was put in jail for an extremely long time, but those phones are still kicking around.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that he only got caught within the last couple of years. He got caught in 2013, I believe, but still, the fact that somebody ran an encrypted network that nobody knew about until he was just sloppy and got caught is insane. And the
Well, and
fact that
see,
the fuddy duddy
well, and
Canadians.
here's the other thing. Anybody can buy these radios, but what you don't have are the codes.
Mhm.
And like, it would be illegal for me to have the encrypted code programmed into mine without the permission of the department in which the code belongs to. And so if she had a radio that she bought from Radio Shack and turned around and had that encrypted code that she may have solicited from an officer by performing an illegal act, that is now an illegal device. So I do have mine checked on a regular basis so that it is known to be legal. But Sarah Boone has, of course, this case. She's had an eviction, a zero up to $15,000 that was recent, that was closed in 2020. She's had a traffic citation. She's had a criminal felony. That's when she tried to choke the victim that she ended the life of in 18. She's got a mortgage of 250 foreclosure. She had a divorce. She's had multiple civil infractions and all of that. But the thing is the infractions, if it's just a speeding like 2 miles over, they're not going to do that. But if it's speeding to a certain level, like 20, 30 miles over, then they can do that. So anyway, but the thing in in school zones, they will post. So she's not Miss Little Innocent. I'm not saying she's horrible, but she ain't no Miss Little Innocent either. And if she can sit there, I don't understand why the charge was dropped unless she made a. I'm trying to pull up the record. It gives it a second because it's got to go through things. Okay. Bond discharge, bond cash. I do have all the documents on this. Court minutes, affidavit, first appearance. I can download all this, but I don't know why would it be. Oh, did you put that up? Okay, I did. Let me explain this. Sarah Boone is a pack rat. And I think she's doing that so she can sell it or whatever she needs to do to be able to make extra money in prison or to befriend people in jail, not prison, jail. And so what's happening is one of the best ways to make friends is to have things they can't get. So by doing these volunteering in, actions and cleaning and doing all that stuff and getting into closets and organizing, she can find things that she can slip into her pockets or whatever and hoard them, which then means she doesn't have enough room for all of her stuff. And put it this way, if I'm bunking with you and you put some of this in my locker or my drawer, and they do a shakedown and it's in my possession, I get in trouble. So she's convinced this person to hold the legal stuff because the contraband was found in her possession, not the possession of the person that she had some of her other possessions in. So, for example, she might put her regular clothes, her deodorant, she might put her files in the other inmate's drawer, and in hers is the stuff that she's not supposed to have. It's kinda how I read it. What about you, Sneaky? That's kinda how I read the documents, that what was found in the other person's was not necessarily contraband, but it was in the wrong place, so it became contraband.
Hmm. I
But the
believe so.
stuff that was found that was contraband was in the possession of Sarah herself.
Yes.
Okay, that's
And that
okay.
it was just very suspect in general that Sarah's possessions were being found in somebody else's locker because then it was prompted for for Sarah's locker to be searched
Oh,
to
well,
see
they
what
do
was
well,
in there
true,
to
and they also do
prompt.
random searches.
Yeah, they shake down anyone because they can, but it's
Yeah.
also like if Sarah's stuff is in there, then what's in Sarah's locker? It's also just like a common sense thing.
It's kinda like we gotta follow this up. So, let me go back for those who just joined. What was the contraband? Oh boy. At first, it was just extra uniform or some paper clips. Then they found a shampoo bottle with powder substance. They didn't know what it was. Then they found oh, we forgot. Remember well, remind me about the med. Then they found a shampoo bottle with hand sanitizer in it. They found all kinds of things with things that shouldn't be in it that were. Then they started finding paper clips. Then they started finding, one big find, they found potato chip bags that were empty. They found rubber gloves, 5 pair that were whole. The others, 40 pair, had fingers cut off, which is what you put medications in when you're passing it illegally. They found packets of ketchup and mustard. They found, um, oh my gosh, extra clothes, extra paper. People want to know why the paper was such a big deal because you get extra tissues and things because you can, and some of that paper was cut up because they can then wet it, make a paste out of it, wrap it around multiple of the paper clips, making a weight. Go back and look, but they can fish line through the toilet system and pass things in the rubber gloves and in the fingertips that are usually drug related, paraphernalia related, and shanks and things like that. So they were finding that Sarah Boone was conning people or paying them, I don't know, to use their locker or their drawers. And multiple times she was told that she can't do it. And then they had people that would move out of her area, like the bunk above or below. I don't know which bunk she's in. And their locker would be empty. And then she would just take over that space. And they ended up having to padlock it to keep her from doing it. Prison uniforms or some unofficial prison uniforms. And the thing about prison uniforms is you get I think you get two sets of your prisons. You get two sets of white, I think two sets of socks, two sets of underwear. You get one pillowcase, one pillow, or their bunk may have a built-in one. You get one top sheet, one bottom sheet, one blanket. And then she had between 30 and 36 slices of cheese. She had what else? It was just an odd thing. But once we were reading this paper for what, 50, 60 pages, and then all of a sudden it went off on me and I went ding 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 ding, I know what she's doing. And that's basically she's doing what they call toilet fishing and transporting illicit drugs, probably. Well, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. And other contraband through the toilet system is one way that they do it. Well, it's government cheese, honey. God only knows. But the cheese, one thing about cheese is when it's soft, you can mold it. What happens to cheese when it goes bad? It's hard. And so cheese can be used in other ways. So, anyway, Sarah Boone is really fitting in very well in the prison system or the jail system. Yep. Have you ever had a sliced cheese and you left it and air had got to it? It gets really hard. Mhm. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining Sneaky Side. Blessings. Love you. You're awesome and amazing. Really couldn't do all this without my mods. I've had several mods on today. I really appreciate all my mods. Y'all are amazing. This is a day that I did not plan to go live, but we are. So I want to talk a little bit more about Miss Sarah Boone. She also went through a divorce, which we know. However, she fired the attorney in the divorce too. Yeah, she, her attorney. Let's see. I'm trying to see when the order was originally filed. I'm skimming. Give me a moment, please. So, the divorce case was initiated on 11/30 of 2017. Uh, a lot of waivers, memorandum, parenting classes, final hearing. Final judgment was on 6/18. Okay. 6/18. Oh, somebody sent me something. I got to glance at it. Oh, on 6/18. Okay. And then, well, 6/15. And then they continued. Uh, it was reopened, but she basically, her lawyer quit on her. He filed for relief, which was like, what? Are we surprised? No, we're not. So even in her own divorce, she had that issue. And so the divorce, final orders of the divorce and everything was done on 10/23. But guess what? For some reason, and I don't know because I can't get into the record, it has been reopened. And it is reopened Still, why is I guess did they have a kid together? Oh, it's Fish. Thank you for the thank you so much. I'm just getting used to this, guys. For those of you who are just joining, I'm very new to this. I've only been doing this a few months. Sensei, come here, place. Good girl. And so I really appreciate that. I really, really do. And we just got monetized a little bit ago, and we are so grateful for every little bit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is huge. Um, so her her case is open again. Her case is open again with the divorce. So I don't know why it is. Now, I want to talk about the choking. Um, for some reason, it was dropped. So what I'm going to do, because this has been a account to release cash bond bundles. I'm looking for documents. Okay, plea of not guilty, waiver of arraignment. Let me see this document. The Florida versus state. Oh, I'm going to share this. Let's share this. Why not? Let's share this because I don't think I've seen this one. Let me hop it up there. Let me get me next to it. Let me find a way to embiggen it. There we go. State of Florida plaintiff against Sarah Boone, written a plea of not guilty and waiver of arraignment. Accused through the undersigned discerned Jonathan Hoffman. Pursuant to Florida Rule of Criminal Procedure 3 point whatever, hereby enters a plea of not guilty and waiver arraignment charges of the cause. This was done in that other case. So let me go back over to her case and see if I can get. Here's the complaint. Oh man, I got to go through this again. No, we're not going to do that. Let me see if I can go. Okay, I can't. I have to pay for that one. I guess. Court minutes. Okay, I don't know why they're not letting us in all of a sudden because they're green, which means they're public. Okay, I think they're overwhelmed, so we're not going to get to see it today. But I will do my best in getting that documentation because that is interesting. But basically, they've been able to keep that out of the case. I don't know why or how, but they have been able to keep that uh, documentation suppressed so far. So far. So Sarah's got some little an interesting journey ahead because her attorney is he's actually doing a good job. For those of you who don't know, she did retain an attorney. He answered her ad. I'm like, I didn't see that on my bingo card at all. Him answering an ad to be her attorney. Everybody is shaking their heads going, "Why? Why do you want to be her attorney?" That is just crazy. You are glutton for punishment. That's what, you know how it all is. So we'll wait and see what happens. And for those of you who are just joining, thank you so much for joining. We greatly, greatly appreciate you. Um, but we are going to be looking and seeing if we can get more documentation on the original charge where she choked the decedent prior to what she's charged with now. Sarah Boone is playing nice in jail with most of the inmates, but Bunk 40, for some reason, seems to be the targeted bunk. And for some reason, she is able to manipulate everybody in the system this far and getting what she wants. I think she'll do well in prison. I know, baby girl. Just give me a minute, honey. Talking to my service dog. So, Sarah Boone, um, number one complaints is her mouth. Many of the notes that were written, behavioral notes that we played yesterday. And by the way, if you'd like to go watch, it is there available. Um, the guards made comments of her manipulation, both of the inmates and of the guards and the situations they're in. Um, and so, if what we're seeing in court is just a little snippet of what she's doing to them every day. So why was I going, aha, this explains a lot in court. One of the things that she was advocating for aggressively was an extra locker to hold the 2 boxes of documentations. Now, does that make sense? Now we've talked about the fact that she was using other people's lockers to maintain her personal property. Many times they made her clean and and send stuff to property hold for her because she had too much in her allotted space in the jails. They are in a room with between, we know they have 43, so probably 45 to 50 beds. Usually that's 25 bunk beds, 50 total people, and each of them would have a little locker or a very narrow locker between the beds or a foot locker type thing. And for some reason, she's able to con people into letting her use their space for her to hold her crap. And so this has been a bone of contention between the jail and her to begin with. So now I understand why the jail was adamant about not giving her an extra locker space. Not initially. So now it's very clear as to why the jail was adamant about that. They're going, we're not going to give her any more space. Now, if she is in a room by herself, and then she can take her stacks of papers and neatly stack them, but she can't have a cardboard box. Cardboard boxes are not allowed in prison. They're too much of a fire risk. Paper's bad enough. So that's why I just really couldn't figure out that need for her. Now we see why. We got all of her, I think between what I aired yesterday and what we pieced together before, I think we've pretty much seen all of her behavioral notes up until about a couple weeks ago. Now, what's going to be interesting is Miss Boone is no longer able. This is an actual, this is real. Heidi the Highlander is our channel mascot. And my best friend in all the world um, decorated for me. Well, help me. And we saw these little Highlanders. I'm not, and I have another one over behind me. I'm not really could care less about them, but now I've fallen in love with them. So now we have Heidi the Highlander, which y'all named. Oh, thank you, Mary Kay. Oh, thank you. Mary, we need to get on my Discord. You guys, I do have a Discord. I'll put it up. Get into my Discord because I would like, there's several of us who do Native American beadwork. And I would love, 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 love. Where is my Discord thing? If not now, um, I'll go get it and pop it in. I think I have it in banner. Let me go get it and pop it in. But get into Discord with us because I would absolutely love for us to do a live through Discord beading circle. I think that would be freaking awesome, don't you? How do I find my Discord link? Y'all, I'm new to this. I don't know how to do it. Okay, wait a minute. Invite people. Copy link, and I'm going to put it in comments. There we go. There's my Discord. Did it? No, it didn't go. Let me try it again. Copy. Put it here. Control V. There we go. Y'all come join the Discord because we do have some fun over there. We'd love to have you. Oh, our truth fairy sent me today. I made the comment, can we get requests for her phone calls? We may get her phone calls. I would love to hear some of her phone calls. Oh my gosh, y'all. If y'all have not subscribed, I would appreciate a little DNA to be left. We are trying to get to 3,000. But I know everybody follows different people. I'm grateful you're here with me today. And if you're new, thank you for joining. For those of you who don't know, I am deaf legally. I grew up hearing, hence why I can talk. I was interpreting earlier because I had a deaf person who was watching at that time. We do have an interpreter. She's not here today because it is a holiday. So, but she does interpret our court. So you will be seeing that. Her name is Miss Diane. So if you know anybody who's deaf or hard of hearing, let them know. I'm trying to open up this to them as well. We can do it too. Yeah, we definitely can. So guys, one of the things that it really helped me reading all this to kind of get an idea where this woman's head is. And honestly, do you know where her head is? She's batch crazy. She is definitely cray cray. Go on, Sensei. She is definitely cray cray and very manipulative in the prison. I keep calling prison. She's in jail. She hasn't been convicted yet. So in jail, yes, the bells, because I sometimes go live at the drop of a hat because when something breaks, I'm live. When something hits, I'm live. I am definitely live. So, oh, didn't mean to do that. Telling me I need to leave it up. Okay. So, we also, um, if you just joined us, go back and watch the other live that I had today on Tellus. It's very telling. A juror spoke on Mr. Tellus. Thank you, Mary Kay. Yes. Thank you guys so much. We also do a members live once a month. We just had the last one. And just so you know what kind of fun we have on those member lives, this girl kind of got sugar coma on the other live. Do you know why? We played Truth or Dare Being Boozled. And I took a couple of hits for the team. But yes, we played Being Boozled. And it was, oh, some of it was just, oh. Oh, we watched what we had earlier was a bunch of his interviews. And the more I know some of them are kind of repetitive, but pay attention to how he says things. It's not what you say, it's how you say it that I pay attention to. Bye all, off to mow the lawn. Be safe. Don't overdo it. Yeah, that was a little bit I had a migraine the next day. I had a sugar coma the next day. Everybody have a happy Monday. I haven't seen the interviews yet. Okay. Is it Lova? La, Lenova? Please go to the previous live. I I teleported everybody into this one. Bye bye, Lindsay. Y'all enjoy your day. But teleport into that one. So go back and watch that one. It's a lot of interviews, and at the end, we play a juror. Number 6 gave an interview. And so go watch that because the numbers are interesting. So when it comes to Sarah Boone, oh, mm-hmm, maybe. Bye, Miss Queen, Olive Ruth Ann. Yeah. I don't if it's not here, I won't eat it. If it's here, I'll eat it. So one of the things that we'll be doing is tomorrow morning. We have a 7 o'clock my time here. 7 o'clock my time, and it is. Let me pull up my channel with the Sarah Boone motion with the new attorney. That is 7 o'clock my time, Central Standard Time. 9 o'clock Florida, or 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Florida. I don't know. Central Standard Time, 7 a.m. And then at 1:45 um on the 5th, we have Miss Hannah Gutierrez Reed, and this is where she brought her gun to the bar. This is a totally different case, and it's a hearing on that. I had fun with my thumbnail. I put her inside an old bar with her gun. It most You're in Arizona. Yeah. It is, but you can always catch up. I know it's like 6 o'clock your time, and I apologize for that. I hate it. She's in more trouble. Well, this happened a while back. Oh, yes. Yes. She took a lead shooter. I keep forgetting I can't say the GUN. The lead shooter into a bar, which is illegal in the entire no matter what state you're in. It is illegal to take any lead shooter with a license. I have a license. Whether you have a license or not, you cannot take it into any establishment where 51% of their revenue is from alcoholic beverages, i.e., bars. And so she took a lead shooter in a bar, and it is not a good look for her. And this is her other case that she has been trying to fight against, and I don't see her winning. And this, just so you can see the thumbnail, I'm putting it here just so I can remember it. But I may have to change it. It just doesn't stand out enough. But what do y'all think about that? So she brought it into a establishment sells alcohol, so she's got big charges on that. So we'll see what they do to her at that time. Uh, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome for the update. Awesome people who are awesome to be with people who are anti pew pew. Um, I welcome all opinions. I am not anti. I have multiple, but I what I am anti are the wrong people having them. I don't believe anybody should just be able to carry them around. I actually went through licensing and everything else like that. Um, but I do believe that um, there needs to be good regulations. Let's put it that way, okay? I'm also in Texas, so I have to be careful what I say. Yeah, yeah, just depends on where you're from. But I'm not against those who are against it. Everybody has a personal choice. Oh, who are not. Okay. You didn't have the word not. I reread it just to make sure. And it says awesome right here. Awesome to be with people who are anti PPU. I was like, well, and that's fine. And I respect everybody's opinions and I respect that, but we all have a right to them. And that's what I encourage here. You have a right to say it as long as you do it in a proper and a nice way. And nor do I tolerate any bullying or anything like that. This is a very friendly place, and that's the way I'm going to keep it. Yes. And I respect it. Some people have had bad experiences, and I get it. I don't advertise per se, but I don't lie about it either. Yeah, the NT makes a big difference there, my friend. But it's okay. See, I supported you even though I didn't know it. Okay, guys, this chick has been on since 10 a.m., 11, 12, 1, 2. Okay, for over 4 hours. And I do have homework I got to get done. For those of you who don't know, I am a college student. I went back this semester to get my degree in criminal justice, and I got work to do. Army gave me my first pew pew in the 1970s. Oh, Mary Kay, good for you, love. You did it back when it wasn't popular to do it. Um, I get it. I agree. Um, I don't think the answer is taking things away or going to stop something. I think education and teaching and that, but some things do need it to be taken away. I mean, some things we just don't need. But I have survived a lot of bad things in my life, and I used to be anti, and now I believe that there's a time and place, and but I think people need to be very responsible, and so it is what it is. I don't either. I don't. But at the same time, I don't want my life to end at the hands of somebody else if I could prevent it. Self defense is the only reason. Only reason. Yeah. And well, that too. Definitely that too. Congratulations. Thanks for going live today. I'm trying to see what you put in there. Oh, thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate you guys. I hope to see you soon. I understand that your normal people may not be on today, so thank you for hopping on with me. Once again, we will be live again tomorrow at 7 a.m. If you'd like to join us, I would appreciate it. And if you have become a member, we do members only lives, and those are fun. So don't forget to leave your DNA. As a woman, a pew pew makes me equal to a man who might be a bad guy. Yeah, a little bit. But once again, training is necessary. And I'm not talking hands on training, I'm talking learning when to, when not to, how to get yourself. It's not always the first defense, it's the last. Yeah. What, and hear me when I say this, if you learn nothing else from me, lead shooters are not the first defense, as in Black Swan. It is the last defense and should be taken seriously. Okay, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it today. I have. I'm going to go and get me some lunch. I am going to go do my homework. I'm going to be a good student. And I will see you with a bunch of coffee tomorrow morning because seven's going to come early enough. And I, once again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting all of our country, all the con, all creators. And as you can see, I'm getting tongue tied. Thank you for being here for all of us. This is not easy, but we enjoy it. And as I always say, remember, somebody else is always having a worse day than you. So be kind to everybody. Smile to the ones who are not smiling back, and love your families and give everybody a big hug because you never know. Goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow.